Well, friends, it looks like change is in the wind. Here's an update I wasn't quite sure I wanted to make.
Welcome to the vlog.
Hey friends, welcome back. So yeah, it's been a minute. Rollins and I have just been doing our thing. Basically, just kind of doing what we do. And as far as this channel goes, there's some changes in the wind. I'm not sure exactly what the future holds for us at this point. But I'll give you a little rundown on the spring and summer, where we're at, what's going on. I kind of titled this The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly because there's a little bit of all three in there. So yeah, let's get to it. So first off, Rollins and I are fine. He's healthy, I'm healthy. He visited his vet in September, got his shots updated. He's good. I'm good. Went and saw the doctor, got my prescription refilled for my blood pressure, and other than that, everything's fine. No issues other than just starting to feel a little older, but that comes with getting older. So yeah. So last time I talked to you, we were on our way out of Nevada. Basically did the photo workshop, which went really well. And after that was over, got the hell out of Dodge, so to speak. Came through the border, came into the Creston area again. Basically went and camped by the Goat River, which is, I think, probably one of our favorite spots. Roland loves it out there. I love it out there. It's quiet. The weekends, there's a few people here and there. Long weekend, there's a few more people, but I mean, it's only 3 days or whatever. And they're further down the road because I went in further this time around, same as last year. Got a nice spot right by the river. He gets to swim. We were basically there from Easter this year to the middle of August. So, yeah, didn't get out and adventure much. Just basically hung around, work. We'll get to that in the bad section of the video. But basically, yeah, there were some transitions with work. So I was concentrating on different things, blah-de-blah-de-blah. After the goat, we went to Alberta for a bit, just to kind of catch up with Roy and Linda and Steve and Renee and friends of ours. Basically just went in, actually paid for a campground in Stannard, Alberta, because the Severn Dam is now closed. I'll probably throw that video up either before or after this one. It's just a short little one showing the state of affairs there. They shut it down basically to any overnight. It's just day use only. They've blocked off the entrance and stuff with big concrete blocks, and it's just, yeah, it's all overgrown and kind of sad. But other than that, hung out with them in Stannard, Alberta, in the campground. Probably won't be doing that again. I'll save my reasons for another time, but yeah, it didn't gel well. Big open field, yet you can't play ball with the dog. You can't be off leash, this and that. It's like nobody else around, but nope. The Gestapo would come by and basically say, he needs to be on his leash, this and that. And then, of course, there's like a big wedding party. Came way down to the other end of the campground and decided that they were going to crank tunes one night till 4:30 in the morning. And, of course, the Gestapo's nowhere to be found. No phone number, no one to call. You just got to put up with it until Monday when they leave. And I don't even know if they were registered, but whatever. I'm rambling already. Yeah, this could be a long one. But anyways, we're fine. We did the Goat River for months and went to Alberta for a little bit. Caught up on some paperwork, renewed some things, got the dog to the vet. All the regular day-to-day chores, so to speak. And then we packed everything up and drove to where we are now. And that is this beautiful spot on Salt Spring Island in BC. So we took the ferry from Tawasin right over to the island here. There's no hops. We've got a direct one. Got here late at night, and my new landlord, who was renting me a spot on his land, basically met us at the gate, and we got set up the next day, and we've been here for about a month now. So this is our home for winter. It's a nice little spot. on Salt Spring Island. I have friends here. Jan, my landlord, is great. There's a little weekly poker tournament at the Legion. We go every Monday, which is one of the things I was doing in Quartzsite in the winter. We have 15 amp power, which is included in our rent. And just to be a little respective of that, I've added a H-calorie diesel heater to the mix. I did drill a big hole in the side of the RV to put that in because I didn't want the heater inside because they're fairly, not noisy, but they're, they got some sound to them. And I wasn't sure about having that unit inside. I guess people do it in cars and RVs and vans and stuff like that. But the unit I have is a toolbox one, so it's, I think, a little better for the outdoors. I'm going to build a proper cover for it, like just a, like a little C-shaped cover to go over top just to keep the rain off, any of the electronics or whatever from the water getting in. But other than that, we set it up, and basically just the pipe with the heat is like, I don't know, about that long, goes from the back of the heater, which is sitting on my table, into the back, into the RV. Straight shot in, and it heats the RV up pretty quick. So happy with that so far. It's not getting real cold yet. It's got down to around 6 or 7 at night here. So flick it on in the morning. It's got a timer, app, everything. It's pretty cool. So with the addition of that, I think we're good for the winter. We got access to water, so I bring that down just like I would if I was boondocking. It's just in the yard, and every month or so, probably 6 weeks-ish, I do have to call a pump out service, just because we want to make sure that we're up on the up and up with sewage and that kind of thing. So with that said, this is my place for the winter, and from here we'll go into the bad section of the video. I don't dwell on the bad too often, and I'm not really going to dwell on the bad in this. I'm just going to mention it and move on. Basically, through the spring, I knew this was coming because I had conversations in the winter with the guys from the states that I was working for, I was doing web design stuff for. They were slowing down. Their sales guy was stopping sales or retiring, or I don't know what the hell he was doing. But the main thing was they were transitioning all their current clients to a new version of their content management system, which means they weren't onboarding new clients because they didn't want to onboard them onto the old one and then have to move them. So that was the basic gist of it, and it was going to slow down significantly in the spring. So spring came, I got one job. I haven't really heard from them since. To be honest, for some reason, my gut's telling me I probably won't. I probably won't hear from them again. That said, I still had the other client out of Kamloops, heavy equipment rental and sales company. They were more or less on retainer. I was managing their new website that I built, blah, 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 blah. And then I got notice near the end of June that by the end of July, they were closing shop. 43 years, I think, they were in business, and they were basically just, done, closing up. So I had one more month of that, and I'm like, okay, so I guess I'm starting to look for new clients now. I was working on other things, still have the t-shirt shop and still doing the YouTube stuff. Basically I was okay. So, and we were just hanging out at the river, and I wasn't too worried. As we progressed through spring, I started to see red flags popping up, letting me know that I probably wasn't going to go south this winter. I don't like getting political. And to be honest, a lot of my vibe and my opinions are not even political. They're like, I could give two shits if it's the left or the right or the red or the blue or whatever. I look at the lesser of two evils every time it's time to vote. Who do I think is going to do a better job? I'm not tied to one side, one party, but I'm also, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm also maybe more human-based than I am political-based. I believe that everybody is equal. The color of your skin doesn't matter. Your sexual preference doesn't matter. Your orientation doesn't matter. Who you support in an election doesn't matter. Whatever imaginary man in the sky you worship to doesn't matter. We're all here just trying to survive. We're all here trying to provide for our family and our loved ones, and whether it's a dog or kids or grandparents or parents or whatever, these people that get all tied up in like, you know, their guy is right or their guy is wrong or that guy is, you know, whatever. It's all bullshit. And basically, I try not to get too involved in it, but recently I have, and we'll get to that in a minute. So yeah, been a little stressed over the future, put it that way. And so since the shutdown, we'll call it, in 2020 and 2021, etc., I've been kind of looking at where I would like to eventually retire, if that's a thing anymore. One of the countries that is kind of appealing to me was Panama. And there's been things going on politically that are even messing with that. So, like, you know, despite the immediate future stresses, there's also kind of like this long-term stress that I'm just like kind of trying not to let it get to me, but it's there in the back of my head like a little tick or something. But anyways, that's the bad stuff. I mean, it's not bad. Everything's, you know, pretty good. I'm not really complaining. It's just kind of one of those things where it's like I had to start looking at the future and what I was going to do because my plans are definitely changing based on the way things are right now. Which is a good segue to lead us into the ugly. Not impressed. So yeah, as you probably figured out, I'm not going south for the winter. It's not happening. I have many reasons. And the funny thing is you watch the news reports from down there and you know, watch, even news reports up here. Down there, they seem to be oblivious to why Canadians wouldn't want to come down. Why they're not coming back to Florida or why they're not coming back to Vegas or like, are you really that stupid? Because it's pretty goddamn obvious if you ask me. Let's just say that the tables were turned and on a regular basis our Prime Minister was basically saying, screw you, the US sovereignty, you should be our 11th province. You should come and join Canada because what you have down there pretty much sucks. How would you guys feel? How would the people in the US react to that? Well, now flick it back. And what do you expect from us? That we're just going to go, oh yes, America, oh yes. Everybody down there thinks that they live in the greatest country in the world, and I'm going to guess most of them have never been anywhere else. I'm not saying it's a bad country. Well, let me rephrase that. I'm not saying it was a bad country. So yeah, that's reason number one. Everybody thinks, oh, it's the tariffs and the exchange rate. I've been going down since 2016, every winter, except for the pandemic. The exchange rate hasn't really changed all that much over the years. It's never been the exchange rate. We plan for the exchange. We come down because of the weather. We're avoiding Canadian winters by coming down to the States, whether it's Florida or the desert in Arizona, and the exchange rate is part of the deal. It's never been about the exchange rate. That as a reason right now on why we're not coming down is like 0.1%. Like it hasn't changed much. It's not like all of a sudden our dollar's worth like 2 cents. It's still around the 70, 75 cent mark. Has been for years. So that excuse from businesses and tourist associations, etc., down there holds no water. The other thing people like to bring up is, oh, it's about the tariffs now. Actually, there's always been tariffs. There's always been discussions amongst world leaders and country leaders, etc., over tariffs. There's always been negotiating going on. There's like the NAFTA and there's the, you know, this and that. And then now there's the Kuzma and this and that, blah, blah, blah. It's more now based on who the tariffs are being implemented by. Let's just put that. They're not just tariffs negotiated by two countries. They're tariffs basically being thrown around and used as a weapon. Weaponized by a delusional idiot who thinks that they're going to make his country great again, and the proof is going to be in the pudding when nothing happens, if not gets worse. That's my opinion on tariffs. If it was normal day-to-day, you know, shifts in tariffs here and there, that would not deter me from going south. So again, that reason and that excuse from, you know, these tourist associations and stuff, the Canadians aren't coming down because of the tariffs. Yeah, no, we're not coming down. Part of the reason is because of those tariffs and who's spouting them off like some donkey on TikTok. So let's get to it. Here are my 2 reasons on why I'm not coming down. Why would I? Why would I come down there and support a country that thinks that we should be taken over and become the 51st state? Yeah, no, not doing it. Why would I come down if there's army in the streets throwing people around like they have no rights at all? No, not doing it. Why would I come down if I get to the border and I'm not even sure I'm going to be let in, which is fine. That's their right. Turn around, send me home, whatever. But if I get to the border and they want to go through my phone and I say no, and then what happens? Okay, now what? I'm either sent back, which again is fine, or they detain me. Now what happens if I go down in my truck and my trailer with my dog in tow, and I get to the border and they go, oh yeah, you know, we don't like what you say on YouTube. We don't like your post about our orange Mussolini. We don't like that. We're going to detain you. So now all of a sudden, I have to think about myself, because I don't have a lot of money for lawyers and bullshit like that. B, what happens to my trailer and my truck? Okay, chances are it gets impounded. So now that's another cost, right? C, what happens to my dog when I'm detained for, who knows, 3 days, 4 days, 2 weeks? Because I said something that disagrees with your fucking president. Yeah, no, not fucking happening. I'm not taking that chance. I'm not taking a chance that my dog ends up where? In some shelter somewhere for 2 weeks, not knowing where I am? Screw that. Not coming down. Not happening. Before all this, if I crossed the border and for some reason they didn't get the right vibe or whatever and wanted to turn me around and send me back home, that's fine. That's the U.S. Border Patrol's right. Exactly. I have no problem with that. But if you're going to like detain me or impound my vehicle and my dog and separate us for God knows how long, yeah, not a bloody chance. And if that's even a minute chance of that happening, I'm not coming to your country. And that's it in a nutshell, right there. Besides the fact that I have no desire to support a country that's being led by that guy. I did not agree with him being elected the first time, and I sure as hell don't agree with this time, because he's just running rampant all over your democracy. He's running rampant all over your freedom of speech. He's running rampant all over your agencies and your healthcare, like whatever. I'm not going to get into all that. There's millions of other channels talking about that. But basically, it's like, I'm just not coming down there. I'm not going to risk it. And to be honest, my desire to spend my money in your country, zero. And in case you haven't noticed, there's a boycott up here of U.S. products as well. So not only am I not coming down as a snowbird and spending 6 months in Arizona and Nevada, I'm not coming down. I'm not going to visit Vegas. I'm not going to go to Arizona. I'm not going to tour around and look at some of the attractions. Not doing any of it. Not happening. $0 are coming your way from this guy. Zero. And up here, when I go shopping now, I'm looking for Canadian-made products. I'm looking for Canadian-made items, Canadian-made booze. I don't drink a lot, but when I was down there in the winters, I would buy probably a good 2, maybe 3 bottles of bourbon. And then I'd buy whatever I was allowed to bring back before I came back, so that I had some in the spring. I'm drinking less now, but that's just a health choice. I mean, I totally quit drinking for 3 months in the spring last year, and then I pretty much did it again this year. I just stopped, because when I'm hanging out with Roy and Linda and stuff like that, we're, socializing and that kind of thing. But when I'm alone with the dog, I'm not really drinking. So, whatever. But then I was going to Alberta for a month, and I wanted to, have some alcohol on hand, because I do like a drink once in a while. I went into the liquor store, and I walked right by any U.S. products that were left, and I started looking at other things. And I found some Canadian whiskey, and I found some Appleton Estate rum that is actually quite good. It's made in Jamaica, which I have no problem supporting, and it's bottled in Ontario. So yeah, I have not spent a dime on U.S. alcohol since I got back. So that's been, 8 months? So yeah, no bourbon for me. So then I get back, and I'm trying to minimize my spending on U.S. products. Obviously, there's still things I need to spend money on that I don't really want to, but they're a necessity. As much as I do not like the guy who owns the company, I still use Starlink. So until there's a better alternative, or even a comparable alternative, I will be spending that money, because I need it for internet, for work, etc. Obviously, I still use YouTube, which is still owned by Google. I'm still on Facebook, although I've canceled all my Instagram accounts. They should be basically shut off and gone by the end of October. I don't know how it works. I got in a big mess in the Meta back end, because I had stuff hooked up to a business account, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden I had no access to the business account. And if my Instagram or my Facebook pages are still live after October, don't ever expect me to see me on them, because I'm not monitoring them. I'm not updating them. Basically, I'm down to my Facebook profile. That's it. So I get back here. I'm trying to buy Canadian. I'm trying to avoid U.S. products as much as possible. I canceled my Netflix, that kind of thing. And then I hear assholes like this guy in Maine, this Senator Joseph Martin in Maine, basically sending letters out to our MPs up here going, yeah, you guys should become our 51st state, but, keep in mind, you got to do this, you got to do that. You're not going to have any rights. You got to give up anything Canadian. You got to this. Well, you know what my words for that guy are. And the fact that the governor of Maine now is like, oh, we miss you. Will you please come back and spend your money? Yeah. Sorry, Maine can fuck off. Like, I'll never end up in Maine. Never going to Maine again. Never going to Florida. I went to Florida once, stayed in Tate's Hell State Forest. That was nice. It was nice. But then I went down I was kind of going down the handle or whatever it is. And we stopped at a beach. And I went to go walk on a pier. I got to a pier, and there's like a booth at the end of the pier. It was a county pier. $5 to walk if you want to walk on the pier. I can see the end of it from here. It's like, it's not that special. Like, it just goes out over the ocean. You want to charge me $5, and then basically I turned around and left Florida. Like, and then now with all the bullshit and the way they are down there, no, I'll never step foot in Florida again. Even if there's a layover, if I'm flying somewhere and it lands in Florida, nope. If I happen to go to Mexico or something this next spring, because I have family down there that has invited me down, I'm going to make sure that the flight I have goes right over. Basically, I'm saying I'm drawing my line in the sand, my personal line right now. I will not step foot in the United States while that asshole is in power. And like I said earlier, it's not a political thing. It's not. It's a human rights thing. It's a freedom of speech thing. It's that guy is a walking human piece of shit. And I will not support him. I will not support anybody that supports him. I will not agree to disagree because somebody voted for him. No. If you voted for him and you haven't changed your mind yet that he's a piece of shit, I want nothing to do with you. And there's 77-something million people down there that voted for him, apparently. Well, yeah, sorry, I don't really want to be among you. Won't be coming down. And as long as that piece of shit is in power, I will not step foot in the States. And as a matter of fact, just from watching up here, the way the Democrats are just like pussyfooting around, they can't get anything organized. They don't seem to like grow a goddamn backbone, for one. So based on that alone, if, and this is a big if, you guys actually get an election in 2028, and if the Democrats win and Trump just gets, scuffled out of the White House, go away. If he's still walking around free after that, no. Grow a backbone, finish the charges that he's up against, and deliver some goddamn justice to the pedophile protector. Like, what the hell's going on with that? Like, that's a whole other ball of wax I don't even want to get into. Like, come on. He campaigned on all this stuff. Oh, we're going to release the Epstein files. Oh, we're going to lower taxes. Oh, we're going to end the war on Ukraine on day one. Oh, we're going to end the war in Gaza on day one. This and that, blah, blah, blah. Everything's day one, day one, day one. What the fuck day is it? You people are delusional if you voted for that asshole. And you're getting what you deserve. I'm just going to leave it at that. But that doesn't mean I have to come down there and spend my money. Not going to happen. So yeah, there's my rant for the day. If it loses me followers on this channel, I don't care. Really, I don't care. I mean, really, this channel's kind of dying anyways. I haven't been posting consistently. I haven't been out doing adventures. I haven't been doing anything else. I've just been kind of concentrating on surviving, work, figuring out what to do in the future, et cetera, et cetera. If I lose some followers because of my opinion, which that's all it is my opinion, and since I'm not going to kowtow to some fascist government south of the border, and I have no plans on crossing that border anyway, I'm just going to say what I want to say, and so I did. Agree with it or not, couldn't give two shits. So there it is. Now as far as me and the dog, we're here on Salt Spring Island. My buddy Dave has wrangled me into picking up the drumsticks again. So I'm rehearsing with a band. To be honest, it feels good. I was starting to miss it off and on. I do enjoy it. It's going to be fun. Just a cover band, just playing some old bluesy rock tunes, taking some other tunes and kind of, getting them a little gritty, some gritty bluesy rock, basically. And I think it'll be fun. Am I staying on this island indefinitely? I don't know. Basically, we're going to take it season by season. If the winter goes well, then we'll assess things in the spring. Dave's a single guy too. Maybe there's potential of just getting a house, something that we can both afford together. It is expensive here. Not as expensive as the States with the exchange, but yeah, it's pricey. Comparatively to other parts of Canada, it's pretty pricey here. But it's also a very beautiful, very nice place to be. So there seems to be a decent community here, and I like that. Kind of looking forward to becoming part of it. I'll keep you updated on, any plans. I still might try and get off the island and go exploring. Maybe I'll go into Vancouver for a day and, check out something that I haven't seen in a while, or go eat at my favorite Szechuan place if it's still there. Stuff like that. There will still be some updates here and there. I don't know if I'll try and take the trailer on and off the island because it's a bit of a pain. It's getting old. Truck's getting old. I'm not sure what the future holds in that department. It might be one of those things where maybe I just take the truck and hop on the ferry, and basically me and the dog go and do some exploring, get a motel, do some exploring, get a motel, that kind of thing. Maybe take off for a couple of weeks, come back, whatever. If the new band that I'm in starts getting gigs, then obviously that's going to factor into how much time I can leave and how long and that kind of thing. But all that in the future, we'll figure it out. I'm seriously losing my voice. I'm going to be editing the hell out of this video right now. So on that note, thanks for checking in on us. Like I said, Rollins and I are both fine. We're in a great spot. Winter will be all right. I'm just not going south, and I'm not going to spend my money down there because I don't agree with what's going on. And it's not even political. It's just that asshole has ruined it for you. He's ruined it for a lot of people. And I'm not going to support that. And if you voted for him, then too bad. If you didn't vote for him, I'm sorry, but I got to make a stance. And I think from what I've seen here and there online on other videos, etc., I think the people that didn't vote for him, they get it. They understand. I hope that everybody survives through this. I hope that as a country, the U.S. can get through this and then start healing. I hope for their sake that the worst doesn't happen. But right now it's not looking too good. I mean, I watched the movie before he even won the election. And I recommend anybody who hasn't seen it yet to watch it. And it's called Civil War. I think it was done in 2021. When I was watching this, I was thinking to myself, if he gets elected, I hope that this doesn't become a reality. I hope that life doesn't start to imitate art. Because if you watch the movie, you'll know what I mean. And it's starting to. I have friends down there. I feel for them. I just can't. And I won't. So, that said, have a good fall. Happy Halloween. We're about 2 weeks away from Halloween, I think, somewhere around there. Have a good Thanksgiving down there. We already had ours here. Hopefully you have more to be thankful than more to worry about, but I guess we'll see. Enjoy your winter. And until next time, take care, be well, look after each other. I'll talk to y'all soon. Ish. All right, bye.